What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part, I want to say, 84 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we are about 2 turns away from the destruction of the Drakenhof Conclave for good, as Nikola has destroyed their last remaining on-field army, other than the new one that's coming up with Manny himself. The faction is pretty much broken, they're willing to peace out, but are not willing to confederate, and thus they will be returned to the grave. I guess that'll have to be up to Bathilda, but we'll move her back to take the Black Pyramid of Nagash afterwards, and then probably to take out the dwarfs here as well. I'm hoping that Nikola can deal with stuff down south, because mostly it seems that the Oracles of Tzeentch have largely been destroyed, and I hope that it doesn't take too much effort for Nikola to finish them off, but we'll see. We'll see. So Bathilda, will start by moving you, let's say, right... Is this attrition everywhere? There's nowhere where this doesn't have attrition, damn. Oh wait, I guess we can move into his territory and then won't suffer attrition. Alrighty, well then you're gonna go right there, and we're gonna pop you into ambush, just in case he decides to move and go for Plain of Tuskers. I doubt it, but you never know. Free take would mean we can easily take out Telaqua. I'd also be interested to see whether by taking out Telaqua and trading it back to Tic-Tac-Toe, whether we could force him to become our vassal. I mean, it's unlikely because minus 56 is pretty steep, but Telaqua is a tier 5, so we'll take it a tier 3, because I guess it's technically a tier 4 right now. We could also wait 5 turns, but then Manny will have another army up, and that just seems like a whole hassle. We'll give it a try. Honestly, if Tic-Tac-Toe takes the Deadhead Monoliths, Telaqua will be worth even more, so I'm kind of hoping that he does. It would be nice to actually have some lizard vassals. Actually, speaking of vassals, Jurgen, I want you to march to the Lost Plateau, mostly because you're the most likely out of everybody here to reach it before these guys colonize it. Whether we can actually accomplish that, I'm not entirely sure either, but we shall see. Peter, you're gonna have to take Karagorud. In fact, wait. Can you take this out, this little King Sefko army? Do we actually want to take it out? What are you on? You're on a chariot. Take him out. He's by himself. He's probably gonna run, but not in... Oh, he can actually move past you. I wonder if he's still in range. We can still go after him if we want to. Alright, well then go after him. I hope that you're still in range then. And to resolve that, I lost some zombies. Actually lost a decent amount of Graveguard to that as well, which is frankly kind of stupid, but whatever. Not a big deal. Alrighty, a free standard of discipline at the very least, and then Peter, you can certainly attack here. Valiant defeat, you say? Really? Valiant defeat? Really, game? Look at Waller's armor, look at the reinforcements we have here. What are you talking about? Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna have to fight that manually, but I think this episode is gonna have to be focused on Vlad versus Belakor, so I'd rather do that. And, Jarthor will probably grab Lost Plateau before we can get there, so it's unlikely that we'll be able to vassalize these guys. In fact, they might even declare war on us. I'm not giving them Casa Bar, that's for damn certain. I suppose there is potential for giving them Karagorud. Of course, we'd have to give up Granite Massif and Mahrak as well. Is that a big deal? Maybe. Probably a decent amount of money coming in from both of these. I don't really care about the Granite Massif and Karagorud all that much because they're yellow territories, but Mahrak at least is green. Well, we'll see about that. In the meantime, Nikola, let's have you grab Antok, please, and then move down to Sentry Glades, etc., etc. You can also heal here while you're at it. Province secured, lovely, Casa Bar, and let's get that Crumbling Hamlet up and running and get that Fostered Terror going. Alright, good. Next up, let's move everybody at least, well, let's move at least half of everybody, and then we'll have Vlad fight Belakor. You cannot assassinate anybody, Soul Assassin. I should just name you Soul Assassin at this point. And let's see, we've already moved the Tech Thieves. Oh, okay, well, since there's not much to do with that, I guess we're gonna jump straight into the battle then. Vlad, 'tis time for you to fight Belakor, finally. After all that chasing you were doing earlier, 'tis time. Let's hope that you can land here and attack him in one turn. What level were you again? You're level 50, okay. Just worried that I had to level you up and attack. Alrighty, valiant defeat. Let's see what Vlad will be facing off against here. So Belakor himself, of course, is only level 16. Man, I can't believe you're only level 16 at this stage in the game. I guess he's been losing a lot of battles, but giving Bell of the Ball to a lot of lords, I guess. And yeah, we got his full stack. We got the Settlement Garrison, which has a bunch of Chosen. Actually, doesn't have that many Chosen, but it has a couple of Chosen at least. Some Gore Beasts, a bunch of Chaos Warriors, and then those 2 extra stacks as well. It looks like a fun time to me, plus Vlad hasn't gotten to play for quite a while, at least not against anything challenging. So let's see if we can sacrifice Belakor on the altar of the Crimson Harvest, which sounds like it could also be a vampiric play, so it seems appropriate. Alrighty, here we go, facing off against Belakor, and I just realized, why is this a Tomb King's map? Wait, what? Wait, this is blowing my mind. Why is this at all a Tomb King's map? Aren't we in Norska right now? This should not be a Tomb King map. Something went horribly wrong. This does not look like Norska all around, especially with all the desert, and honestly, it almost looks like Badlands in the background. I don't see any pyramids other than in the city itself. Is this map normally a desert? I need to look up this map if it's possible in the custom battle thing. Odd, but anyway. Anyway, here we go. We're going to be facing off against quite a few enemy forces. We got enemy reinforcements coming in from the city itself, but also from outside the city. In that light, we've actually separated our force into 4 different elements rather than 3. The first element is, of course, Vlad leading the Death Star, as he usually does, with the Vargulfs and the Claw of Nagash, as well as the 2 black coaches. Then we've got the Air Force without the vampires as a separate unit to destroy enemy towers popping up, but also to be able to hit those walls and to hit the enemy reinforcements. Then we have our Blood Knights and our Doggos together to once again hit those enemies, and are led by the Necromancer on his mount, since he can keep up with them just fine now, since he's not on that corpse cart. And then lastly, our other force, which is usually attached to the Air Force, is our 3 Vampiresses together here. Isabella and the other 2 are going to go directly after Belakor. They're obviously not afraid of any enemy range because, well, it's a Chaos Army, and they don't really have a lot of range. They're also all 3 going to fly into separate directions, and then they're going to hit Belakor from different angles. And there we go. I'm gonna start it off by dropping that Spirit Leech on him. There is that I forget the name of the spell now, something Storm of the Night, I want to say, yes, Storm of the Night, Spirit Leech, as well as the Enfeebling Foe, and Master of Beguilement. It looks like Belakor is immediately going to pop his Shadow Shroud, so he does have that damage resistance, but his stats are extremely low, especially his melee attack, which should normally be around 100, but is now at only 21, so I don't imagine he'll be doing too much damage here. I do like watching these units fight in the Storm of the Night. It's such a cool looking spell, even if it's so rarely used, and it's just why we don't necessarily need it on Vlad. To be fair, these 3 can handle most things that they encounter up in the air anyway, even without the support of the rest of the Air Force. Alrighty, well, Storm of the Night has ended, but the 3 will continue to fight Belakor, who is now at very low HP, maybe 20%-ish, and looks like he'll be dropping soon. And down he goes, and I like how he spins as he falls. Well done to you three, and now it's time for Vlad to join combat, as while we were fighting Belakor, and we were able to knock down the gatehouse. Vlad's gonna fight here, obviously, but with enemy units arriving on the field from the reinforcements, we'll be getting ready to charge our Blood Knights and our other aerial units in soon. The Vargeists are gonna go ahead and work on a few other things first, i.e. all of those towers. The Klav Nagash sitting pretty in the middle of this blob of enemies, so it's doing lots and lots of damage to all of them as they try to surround it. Tremendously foolishly, I should say. Though, I mean, this is sort of a damned if you don't, or damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If the enemy were to feed us units one at a time, then they'd simply get destroyed by the Black Couches, the Vargulfs, and Vlad. If it blobs up, it gets destroyed by piles of spells, as well as the Klav Nagash damaging everybody. So what are they supposed to do? They don't have any ranged units, or not really. I think a couple units of Marauder Horsemen, perhaps. So they can't capitalize on any of that either. Well, the Death Star is going to be here for a while, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Now it's time for the Blood Knights to get to work. They are going to be charging here at some Forsaken, as well as some Marauders of Slaanesh. Terrible matchup for the enemy. And there we go. Actually, not as many of the Marauders of Slaanesh getting, or these Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh. No, those are Marauders. Not as many of them get knocked away by the charge of the Blood Knights as I thought they would, but they do rout extremely quickly. In the meantime, our Vamps are going after the enemy Chaos Sorcerer Lord, as well as the enemy Exalted Hero here. One for each of them, and the Terrorgeist, rather, moves in to help out as well as we destroy these reinforcements, preventing them from moving into the city. Not that I think they would have helped much if they had been allowed to move in, mind you. Alrighty, well done to the Blood Knights. And since we mostly use Blood Knights in field battles rather than moving them into settlement battles, because they're a little bit too fragile to participate in the in Vlad's Death Stars, they're not single entity units, it's nice to have this little mini field battle for them to actually play around. And there we go, everybody's doing work. Vargeists are also flying around, still destroying towers, and the occasional unit that tries to go up on the wall. Looks like the enemy Sorcerer Lord has been dropped by the Vamps, who have been doing a pretty good job assassinating such things. The Blood Knights continue moving forward and are in a massive blob now, together with that Terrorgeist chasing anything around. Looks like the enemies moved some Marauder Horsemen of Khorne onto the field, but they are not going to be fighting Blood Knights very well in melee. Lovely. And these reinforcements are basically done for. Looks like a unit of Chaos Spawn, a unit of Trolls will still move on to the field, but, well, they're hardly a threat. Now let's check back on the Death Star. Still looks pretty good to me. Not a lot of HP damage to anybody. Looks like tiny amounts of damage on this one Black Coach, but I'm sure it'll heal up to full anyway. And some Chaos Knights of Khorne have come down, and I like this little hill that the enemy comes down from. Lots of elevation so we can see many units. That said, this does give the appearance of more enemy units getting hit by splash hits, so that don't look so great for them. And yeah, nothing they have here is any kind of threat to Vlad's Death Star. He's also going to be spawning many a zombie here, though I'm not even sure that we need them. And as I said, I'm not even sure we need them. That unit got desummoned. I like puppets with their strings cut. I really like all the shots that this is giving us, though, because of the ramp. Once again, apt for some artwork here with all these units together. Also, the Severed Claw are actually a decently threatening unit, so we may actually have to somewhat watch out for them. Unlike the rest of these guys, they might be able to damage something. Though it remains to be seen. They're at half HP now, and oh, it looks like we've managed to get a few of our vampires close enough, or at least our Shadow Vampire close enough to drop that Pit of Shades upon the enemy. It is overcast and thus dishing out extra armor-piercing damage, which was definitely necessary when popping it on all of these Chaos Knights and such. We've dropped in Isabella and the other three vampires, so we're currently working on the Demon Spew, Chaos Trolls, and Marauders. They don't really care about these guys because they're also not very threatened by them. And the Blood Blood Knights are just chasing around any enemy units that are trying to run off the field now. Looks like one of the towers is briefly activated, but will prevent it from doing anything with the Vargeists, which are coming down in a nice big blob, I'm sure. It's a pretty nice shot, too. There we go, and down they drop to help out the vampires. And the screen shakes a little bit too much, but I'm sure it's fine. And there we go. Let's see what the balance of power is looking like at this point. The enemy has lost about 1,200 troops. I don't think we've lost any. It does look like we've taken damage, but we've been summoning zombies in the fight basically since the start, so I don't actually think anything's been all that hurt. Alrighty, we still have a lot of Chaos Spawn to destroy as well. Chaos Spawn, of course, being unbreakable, so unlike the rest of these guys, they will fight to the death here. But in some ways, that's of benefit to us, because A, it means not chasing enemies around, but B, it means that these units can't run away and then rally and make us wait. Plus, when the rest of the army shatters, Chaos Spawn and other unbreakable units will stay on the field and still have to be destroyed before the battle can actually be ended. So there is that slight annoyance, if nothing else. Alrighty, it looks like the Claw of Nagash is chasing off the remnants of those Chaos Knights of Khorne. It looks like it managed to kill the rest, while the rest of the Death Star, rather, has moved on to these Chaos Spawn and whatever else they can reach. Otherwise, it looks like the Death Star has pretty thoroughly broken through the gate here. The enemy troops continue to drop and are now below half of what they started with, and our Blood Knights continue to chase and are now also starting to move in to start going through that gate. Also, it looks like they've caught the Severed Claw, who are trying to escape here. Gonna knock them out so that they don't come back as well. Alrighty, poke those guys to death. And I do believe, other than Belakor, that Severed Claw unit was the most threatening unit on the field, so I'm not sure that there's anything the enemy has left that genuinely threatens us here. Alrighty, and the Vargulfs and the two Black Coaches, together with Vlad, have moved up on top of the ramp. They do like the Claw of Nagash here, so that they won't be healing as much, but of course Vlad can just drop the Invocations of Nehek should he need them. And we're just gonna give chase and try to force the enemy to blob up once more. And anyway, here comes the Claw of Nagash running up ahead of those zombies. Or floating up ahead, I suppose I should say. Hey, some Chaos Chariots of Slaanesh. Oh, that's actually the Sibilant Slaughtercade. I feel like we see the Sibilant Slaughtercade a lot. I don't know why I continuously notice that particular unit. I guess mostly because it's a pretty decent unit, so I'm somewhat wary of it, but obviously not against the Death Star, where it isn't any kind of threat. Alrighty, just taking in the sights now. The enemy army still has not completely shattered. I see the shadow of the Terrorgeist overhead as it comes down to, I guess, help. Maybe kill a few of those Sibilant Slaughtercade models. And it looks like these guys are going to run out, but more enemy units are moving in to try to stop us here. But here come the Vamps as well to now properly enjoying the Death Star rather than flying around by themselves with the Air Force. As it's no longer needed and the enemy army is not really separated all that much anymore. Your masters do desert you. In fact, they have deserted you, and that is why you are done. Looks like the enemy has shattered completely, and that's pretty interesting. They still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like 9 full HP units, and oh look, there's a Chaos Spawn. Well. These guys still have to be destroyed before the battle ends, but yeah, 9 full HP units remained on the field that refused to fight. Interesting. And plus the enemy lord, although we can just send the vampires to hunt him down. I think that might be the lord that is from the, that is not from a garrison. Well, yeah, because Belakor was in here. It would have been from one of the forces that came to help, so we should probably kill him to reduce the numbers of the enemy. Of course, our priority here is going to be these Chaos Spawn to make sure the battle ends, but they'll die very quickly here, as all of our elite units are hitting them and basically knocking one out per hit. And there we go, the last one of them drops, and that should be, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, no, there's still one more fighting the Claw of Nagash here. And it looks like either the Claw got the kill or maybe Vlad or Isabella, kind of hard to say, but ultimately doesn't matter. And now the battle is properly over. We see the barriers and the towers go down. We're going to give a little bit of a chase to at least a few units. Not all of them, but I'd like to once again take as many of the enemy reinforcements out, so at the very least that means killing this enemy lord with our vamps. The dire pack here, or the regular pack? No, it is the dire pack. Have started off on him, but it'll take a few seconds to bring him down as well. And there we go, the vamps killing their third lord there. So these three have basically killed every lord on the map, right? And there we go, close victory. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, let's look at the end screen here. Let's see just how close this victory was. Alrighty, 0 losses for Vlad yet again as he absolutely destroys Belakor's army. Belakor unfortunately surrounded and ripped to shreds you say, in the air by the vampires. Very nice. Alrighty, and we got 8.2k out of that. Now we could sack the place and it's a decent amount of cash, but it is, I feel like it's a reasonably high tier. You know what, let's just occupy it straight up for now. This may be valuable enough to give to one of our allies. Or even keep ourselves. It is a port, let's see, it generates 565 income, it is a yellow territory and not a red one. And there we go, Bell of the Ball. Casualty or punishment rate, weapon strength, and winds of magic power reserve capacity. Very nice. Alrighty, we'll obviously build the ghost fence there, and we're gonna build the gibbet to start off with. Yeah, I feel like maybe this one province is worth keeping. Generally, I don't like to bother keeping Norscan stuff at all, really. Mostly because it's, well, it's kind of irritating to deal with, just generally speaking, because we can't defend it so well. But now that all minor settlements have been reverted to no walls, the Norscan settlements, I guess, aren't all that different from other settlements anymore, are they? So, meh. Alrighty, either way, of all the care, I want you to take Pack Ice Bay. Oh, Pack Ice Bay is one of the broken ones? Yeah, it has a port, but you can't actually land at the port. Okay, fine. Alright, go around and take Pack Ice Bay that way. You have enough crypt horrors, I think, to be able to pull it off. Hopefully you can actually land here. Huh. Wait, if you go into March stance, can you then land? Yes, you can. Okay, that's fine. You'll suffer attrition for a term. It's not like this guy can hurt you, and it's not like the defenders can do anything. Yos, you can either sail out this way and grab that Remnants of Battle for something. It's not like you need to go up here. Waldekir does want to move back here so that we can take Dietershafen, but that'll be in a bit, because Otto needs to go to Norden. And actually, if you're gonna go to Norden, I want you to lose a few zombies, let's say 4. And let's get you 2 ghouls and 2 dire wolves, like so. No veterancy on them, but I feel /hope, I hope that the, that those units are enough to defend us. The problem, of course, being that we have no corpse carts available, and thus we can't power up the army. And oh, we got a couple Graveguard in here. Yeah, alright, fine. Let's get you a couple Graveguard. I'm not gonna bother, so... Oh, we can't even summon any of the good stuff anyway, so... Yeah, alrighty. 1 corpse cart would have made all the difference. Just the 1. It's so much easier to hold against larger units like those. Like, who's going to kill the mammoths here? It's just going to be the crypt horrors? Crypt horrors might die to mammoths. Well, you can give it a try. You have Master of the Black Art, so you can at least kill 1 mammoth. You can repeatedly raise dead. If we're going to give you a point, it'll have to be one of those. Also, you do have 105 mana. If you really wanted to, you could cast a few Gaze of Nagash. I've basically gone this entire campaign without using the spell because I don't like it. But there may be situations where you actually can get some use out of it, like this one. Alright, let's put a point in it. Maybe. And you can stay on your Hellsteed as well.
It is night.
If you had your dragon, this would be a lot less likely to be a problem. Anyway, there you go. Let's move Yos up as well. Do we grab the Remnants of Battle? Yeah, why not? Screw it. Why the heck not? This territory isn't in a storm anymore, so it's not like it's concerning. I'm gonna also send you up to Conquata, but I think we're gonna send Vlad up there as well. Aldous, you need to go to Lost Fjord, or Troll Fjord, I don't know why I called it Lost Fjord, just randomly. Though, you're gonna need to raid your own territory on the way, aren't you? Yeah, that's the only way you'll heal. So start raiding and start moving. It's gonna take you a long time to get up there. At least get to full health first, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. Monolith of Bjork, kill Bloody Hand. Let's get you some Vampiric Corruption and a bit. It doesn't really matter. And we can't get any control buildings here. The Gallows actually gives us 3... Well, actually, I guess we could build the Gibbets for extra control, and I don't want to waste money on them, though. Because once again, we're going to be trading all these territories to our allies. All we have to do is just make sure that they don't swap out via a rebellion. Okay, well, that looks good to me. Well, let's proceed. That's Vlad. Bathilda, you're good where you are. Rudy, you are free, as I recall, and thus you are going north. Actually, while we're on this side of the map, let me just see here. First of all, Rudy, you're going north, so northing ye shall go. Nothing else to do here. But I've been wanting to try to trade Quenelle from Durthu in order to potentially get another building or another settlement that we could maybe trade to Carcassonne from Mousillon. I don't want to betray Carcassonne, but I do want Mousillon. We're not finishing this campaign without all the landmarks, damn it. Or at least all the vampire landmarks, I mean. There's a few that we will never get, like the Moot, because Draika's never gonna give this up. Which is a little bit odd, because I specifically checked this in my Draika campaign, and she can't access any special buildings there. Whereas we probably can, or at least I assume so. It seems like a lot of factions can, but I guess Draika is one of the few that cannot. Also, looks like we deleted something here. Our Vampiric Corruption is good. And yeah, this will probably have to be the money-making buildings here, just all the money-making buildings. It is a pretty nice money-making province after all. Alright, which means we won't build it right now because we have other things that we need to use money on, like, for example, Mr. Dirk Barrickmere. Now, he was supposed to be a true temporary army. He was not supposed to be here. In fact, he's supposed to be down south right now, leading our Malevolent Treeman army. Oh, damn, that reminds me. Everything I do reminds me of something else. What we want to do is move Warlock to trade his stuff to Edmund. All of the stuff. Yes. Then, Edmund, we just completed a mission for Draika, which might mean... Let me just see here. Oh, right, you can't encamp here, can you? Oh, okay, fine, you have to be in the settlement to recruit. Which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Wallach, move away. Edmund. Can you now recruit... Yes, he can. Okay, it'll take 2 turns. Okay, so here's what we'll do instead. You're gonna leave this for now, and you're gonna sit there. We're going to recruit you, Malevolent Tree, and that'll be the last of the 4 Malevolent Trees you need. But in addition, Warlock is going to be our ranged army, our full ranged army, I should say. So what we'll want to do is get him some Celestial Dragon crossbows, maybe? Maybe we get 2 Celestial Dragon crossbows and 2 Sisters of Avalorn, and then see how they perform, as in compare the two. I don't want to go artillery in this particular army, mostly because we have artillery in other armies. Then we still have to build up the depth guard in some army. The only problem is they cost insane amounts of allegiance, so we need our allegiance to build up a little bit before that. Oh. Huh. I'm also now thinking maybe we should get a couple Sirens into Rudy's army. Damn it. I really wish we could have the Dreadfleet be our vassal a little bit earlier so we could have had access to this, but oh well. Who can build Sisters of Avalorn? We know that the Knights of Calidor can. They're at 15 allegiance. Eataine is still building. Avalorn is still building. Yvresse is also still building. Yeah, I guess we gotta go with the Knights of Caledor ones. There's also the potential option of building Way Watchers, rather. Ooh, Way Watchers versus Sisters of Avalorn versus... Well, I suppose by virtue of being an ambusher, the Way Watchers, while good, have a... Do they have a lower number? Let me just see here. There's 80 Sisters of Avalorn. So in a straight-up duel, if you're not taking advantage of the Way Watchers' abilities, maybe the Sisters of Avalorn would win. Alright, let's build a couple Sisters, and then we'll build a couple Celestial Dragon crossbows, and I just want to compare the two in combat, together with all the Sylvanian crossbows we can build. Of course, once the Malevolent Tree is done building, we'll trade him to Edmund, who will then sail away. You no longer need this zombie either. And of course, we'll replace Edmund later on with the with Dirk Barrickmere. Alright, well, at least that's decided. Next up, Vlad von Carstein. You, my friend, need to summon whatever you can. Let's get you the Tithe. And let us hope that that's sufficient. We want to take Alibaras, which is... does have some stuff already. Might not be able to with this. You are on your dragon, though. I think manually you could probably do it. Valiant dude. Yeah, manually you could definitely do this on your dragon. Okay, we'll leave that to a little bit later. Or maybe in a second. We have a lot of fights still to do. Peter's fight, your fight, as well as the fight against the village up north, but I think we'll save that to the next episode, because that'll be a really good fight. And we already had a pretty nice fight in this one. Alrighty, Ermin Bachman, who I am now kind of attached to. I was going to delete her, but I think we're going to keep her now. Let's have you take the Tower of Torment, and then maybe Stormwrack Mount, just to trade them all away. I did want you to get up here to the Crystal Spires and the Howling Citadel, but once again, considering that you lack a Mortis engine, I'm not sure that you could actually break through any of these. At least not without destroying the full stack there. So let's hold off on that one, I guess. Until we can hopefully pick up a Mortis engine. So go to the Tower of Torment, pick that up, colonize it rather, and then keep picking up allies' territories so that we can give them all to Kislev and hopefully allow them to get powered up. And I suppose we can send you to the Writhing Fortress as well. If there's no stack there, you could just go through this, sack it, and maybe meet up with one of the ghouls as we go through the Dolgan and the Khul's territory. Maybe something along those lines. Anyway, that's Ermin. Who else needs to move? Edmund, you are waiting. You should be channeling, because you're moving out. Yeah, you could channel for at least 2 turns, it'll be something useful. Edmund von Falkenstein, that's who I was just talking about. Bruno Morphin, yes, you, my friend, take the Veil of Titans. Why the Veil of Titans instead of this little army? Because this little army is going to run away. And then we won't catch it. So we might as well just trade this, or take this and then trade it away later to the Knights of Caledor. Gotta resolve it. Can't wait to delete this temporary army. All of our armies are just costing us so damn much right now. Our supply lines are at 72% army income increase, or upkeep increase. It's pretty crazy. As soon as Goldtooth is dead here, we're gonna delete you. Hopefully the Blue Roses... Well, actually, the Blue Roses are doing pretty good. They're moving here with 2 stacks, and it seems like Imric isn't here. This entire area still needs to be dealt with, doesn't it? Okay, well, we'll do that later. That's the boosters, Nicola, Edmund. Okay, I guess we've set up most of the battles, and... Well, I guess we gotta set up at least one more battle before we call this. Which is this one. So, Dirk, we moved you out southward because you can get some more units. I fear that between the, 5 mammoths these 2 armies have, and all those skin wolves and Fimir warriors and other good stuff like the Frostworm and Throg, you may need a better army than what you currently have. So let's take out the zombies and the skeleton warriors. I'm not particularly fond of the regular skeleton warriors. And get you a regular Graveguard and another unit of Cairn Wraiths. I think you got your 2 Blood Knights. I think that's sufficient for now. We'll get the Terrorgeist in here for dealing with enemy large units, i.e. said mammoths, obviously the Mortis engine. And you have no Necros. And considering you have no Necros... Okay, take out those Direwolves. Wait, on the one hand, they're good at chasing stuff. On the other hand, we do need to hold the ground. I suppose the Blood Knights can chase. I was just thinking we should probably get a couple Unholy Lodestone Corpse Carts if we have no Necros here.
You know nothing.
It's a lot of troops that need to be chased. I mean, I suppose we could replace a couple of the Skeleton Spears instead of the Dire Wolves. Wait, can we get any more Crypt Horrors in here? Yes we can. We can get one. I do want the Crypt Horrors. No doubt about that. Alright, screw it. Direwolves out. We need enough of a melee line to actually be able to hold. Then we'll get two corpse carts with Unholy Lodestones. Should be a wide enough front to actually make use of both. And then lastly, we will replace, I guess, one of the Skeleton Spears with a... where is it? With another Crypt Horror. There we go. Can never have too many Crypt Horrors. And then, we could get a Vargulf in here as well. It could certainly duel a Mammoth, or we could get the Graveguard with Great Swords. Let's get the Vargulf. This entire army is going to get deleted, so it's it just needs to deal with these guys. Maybe take a territory here, but with the number of armies that we're about to get up here, especially with Yos coming up, I don't think that we'll need all these extra armies. So Dirk, that's good for you. You're going to go into ambush. Plus, we need to delete you so that you can go south and lead our other army. And I want you to go into ambush outside the settlement. I think it's more likely that we actually have a chance to fight this way. Right there. Throg can't actually reach this place, but what he might do is go close to it and then have Karl Shiptaker attack, but if we can ambush Karl Shiptaker, it's going to be a lot more problematic for Throg. I did want to potentially try a defense skier, but the thing is, I feel like they're not going to. And last time we were banking on that, they simply went past the Tower of Kraken to these territories, and I'd really rather not have them do that, so let's make sure that they don't. Anyway, before we call this episode, let's just quickly, super quickly take Alibaras. I'm gonna go max speed through this basically, because we're basically going to be just relying on our lord to summon dead, or raise dead, and then zombie dragon breath on him. I mean, I suppose the rest of our force might accomplish something, it's just probably not necessary here. If we learned any lessons from using Rudy throughout this campaign, who faced off against many foes and did a lot of damage himself, we can certainly take a leaf out of his book. You go here, you bats move around, let's say group 2, group 3, a little bit different from the way I usually group things up. Tithe, more zombies, various skeletons, and make you group 4. Alright, looks good to me. Start deployment, and go, go, go. Group 4, march forward towards them slowly. Bats get ready to hit those skeleton archers, and we speed up to max. Alright, what do we have here, by the way? A Scroll of Blast. Do you have anything that we'd want to use this on? Is there any Tomb Guard here? I see some Nehekar warriors, maybe them. Yeah, it's probably the way to do it. Let's summon a unit of skeletons, probably on top of this. Or on top of one of these archer units, like so. And Scroll of Blast on the Nehekar warriors, please. And let's see if that does any damage. Hey, I thought I told you to Scroll of Blast. Okay, he doesn't seem to want to do it. It just, what the heck, is just repeatedly canceling it. Oh, that's weird. Are you gonna do it now? Huh, no, it seems like he straight up doesn't want to. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But I suppose it shouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, keep taking out these archers, at least until our doggos and our bats get here. Keep summoning. I'd like for the enemy to actually blob up so we can drop a nice spell, but we have a very limited mana on you, so we don't want to waste it. Alright, well, you've landed now, and they're trying to get away from the zombies, but can they get away from zombies and bats and dogs? That will remain the question. Alright, go, go, go. Land upon them, get ready to summon even more zombies, as the enemy will soon get also crushed between the rest of our units, which are nearly here. Let's also speed this up a little bit. And there we go, the bats are in. And that skeleton archer unit should drop shortly. You guys, stay out here until you can find an archer unit that's isolated. Blob, attack please. And do we want another unit of zombies? You know what, let's protect the bats. They are pretty fragile after all. And then you can lift off now. The bats can dish out the damage. As weird as that may sound. And then get your dragon breath on, yeah, that unit of skeleton spears. And Hopefully that doesn't screw it up. And... yeah, that was okay. Alright, there's that first realm of the dead. Then let's hit these units of skeleton spears in the back, slash the sides with all the bats. And they should be able to destroy them. Alrighty, and the main line is now engaged, which means... oh, you need to get closer. Damn, alright, fine. Move closer and we'll need to kill the enemy lord. Doggos, you're still waiting. The skeleton archers are still protected there. And oh wow, you're running back. He's just booking it. Alrighty, do that. I want to try that scroll of blast again. Maybe if... oh, maybe you can't do it from the air. Let's find out. Right after we do this. Probably gonna clip our own forces slightly. And try to scroll of blast now. Oh, damn, you flipped it off. Ah, there we go, he did it. Huh, well, the other thing didn't cast, but at least he did what we wanted him to do, so... nice. And get that overcast when the death upgraded. That should kill most of the skeletons there, as well as a bunch of our own units, but we don't care about any of our units. Alrighty, lovely. Has the enemy summoned a Tsushapti yet? Ooh, also Doggos. Go kill that skeleton archer unit, which is finally disengaged. Let's have you pop that Sword of Ant-Heroes and go after that enemy lord. Keep summoning skeletons here. Rest of you skeletons keep attacking. There's those Tsushapti summons, but I'm sure that our skeleton spears should be able to hold against that. In fact, one of you skeleton spears go kill that chariot unit. Bats, surround and kill what you got here. We should probably heal you. Let's heal the bats. Alrighty, and skeleton archers are dead. Let's speed it back up. Oh, actually, you know what? I guess we can just watch this a little bit. Let's watch them fight. We could also probably pop that potion of defense, or potion of toughness, rather. I don't know why I thought of it as a potion of defense. I guess it does give defense, so... it is a more defensive potion, plus the healing. Alrighty, and how are you doing, by the way? Ah, you're okay. No need to heal yet. You can, however, summon more zombies. You can never summon too many zombies. Alright, the skeleton chariots are running, but also slash coming back. How are the bats doing? The bats seem to be winning. There's still more enemy units to kill here. Doggos, go kill this. And you guys go kill those Nehekar warriors, and let's get back to watching our lord. Looks like the summoned Tsushapti are nearly gone, and have wasted their time not really killing anything. And we should also probably lift off and get another Dragon's Breath going. Yeah, alright, lift off, breathe, then come back down and kill the rest of them. And maybe breathe on those Nehekar warriors, because they're actually kind of threatening. Also, Doggos, get out, don't waste your HP on the Nehekar warriors. Alrighty, and we've lifted off. Where's that Dragon's Breath? I don't like the positioning of that. Do we not breathe then? Probably hurt a few of our own units doing this. Do it anyway. They're just zombies after all. And then summon another zombie as soon as you're done that. Okay, that didn't hurt the Nehekar warriors. Well, actually it did hurt one of the Nehekar warriors, but didn't hurt the other. Summon new zombies, jump back in, bats help out as well. Doggos, you are suffering. Let's also pop a Flock of Doom, maybe? Why not? And the chariots are still being chased around. Alrighty, looks like the enemy is in pretty bad shape now, though. All these units are starting to disappear. And our Dragon Doggo. We'll pounce on him and kill him in short order, I'm sure. There we go. Maybe we want to get an overcast invocation of Nehek on the... we don't have the mana to overcast it. Well, what are we at? 9? We need 11, I take it? Gonna take a while to get there, but the rest of the army is crumbling away, so it won't matter, and it means you can pop your heal now, though you'll heal to full in a few seconds anyway. Alright. I knew the auto-resolve was lying, and we didn't even lose any units. Man, I was hoping that we could confederate Gorst and put the Tithe in his army, but alas, it's not looking like it's gonna happen. If Manny doesn't want to confederate with a half a stack left, and comparing the balance of power of us plus our vassals against him, there's no way. They just hate us too much. But it's okay. Clearly we didn't need a Gorst at the end of the day to make our zombies superpowered. Alrighty, and then occupy Alibaras, please. Lovely. And we will not need you, and let's see what we else... Ooh, wait, can we raise better stuff here so we can auto-resolve the rest? No, not here, but perhaps when we get to Doomglade or etc. It looks like there's no forces defending it, so we should be able to take these reasonably easily, though it does look like Rosetta does have a garrison. But there is a lot of battle markers around, so yeah. I do believe next episode, which is what I'm gonna start talking about now, because the time... Yeah, we're out of time. Next episode, we're going to probably be destroying the Court of Alibaras faction for good, as once Karagorud has fallen, we should be able to take Rosetta and Doomglade without too much trouble. In addition to that, we will hopefully destroy Manny, but we do have other fights to do than those. Of course, the fight against the village right here, and the potential big battle against all of these Norsken/Throg with Dirk Barrickmere. Lots of fights to go, but we still have to continue consolidating what we have, and then hopefully vassalizing a few more factions, namely at least one of the Lizard factions and both of the Cathan factions as well, which we're working towards and are getting closer and closer as these settlements level up. So anyway, stay tuned for more Vamps. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.